If there was one issue that Prime Minister Albanese put his heart and soul into, it was the voice. And plainly, he's never really recovered from its massive defeat. But the voice wasn't all he was committed to. He was committed to the Uluru Statement in full. And that meant not just the voice, but treaty and truth.
And on behalf of the Australian Labor Party, I commit to the Uluru Statement from the heart in full.
But at the Garma Festival last week, to the immense anger of Indigenous leaders, he walked away from treaty and truth.
One of the architects of the Uluru Statement, Pat Anderson, says that you should be embarking on a Truth and Justice Commission. Are you saying it's not that? That's not what you're going to do?
Well, that's not what we have proposed. What we've proposed is Makarrata just being the idea of coming together.
So it's talking to land councils.
That's what we want to do. Well, engaging. Being here is a starting point.
Today in the House of Reps, he was asked about his commitment to Makarrata or the truth-telling process.
On Insiders recently, when asked about establishing a Makarrata Commission with responsibility for truth-telling, the Prime Minister said, well, that's not what we've proposed. But on election night 2022, the Prime Minister promised to implement the Uluru Statement in full, the voice, truth-telling and treaty, and repeated that promise on more than 34 occasions. Why does this tricky Prime Minister repeatedly promise one thing and do another?
And look, he just padded out his answer to stall for time. He fudged it just like he'd done at Garma.
The theme of this year's festival at Garma, which was broadcast, even if you weren't there and didn't make the effort, anyone in the coalition, to actually sit down and engage, was fire, strength and renewal. Strength, the commitment from First Nations people.
Mr Speaker, it is a question on relevance because the question was about the Prime Minister's statements about Makarrata and he hasn't mentioned this at all.
I was asked about a statement that I made at the Garma Festival, and I'm talking about the Garma Festival.
This bloke's a charlatan. I mean, I can understand wimping out on earlier commitments because voters rejected the whole Indigenous separatist agenda, the whole victim mindset pushed by the Prime Minister. But don't trust Labor here. Don't trust the Prime Minister when he pretends this is all off the table. What's happening here is that Labor's suffering in the polls. Hence this smoke and mirrors trick, this con to pretend Uluru isn't happening. New polling today shows that just 34% support a so-called truth-telling commission to investigate historical plus supposedly ongoing injustice against Aboriginal people. Hence the PM's attempt to say that he's still committed, but he'll leave it up to the states to make it all happen. Now, I warn you, this is a con. There's nearly $6 million set aside in the budget for Makarrata. What's happened to that money? The money's still there. Where's it going? What about all the public servants in Prime Minister and Cabinet, all the work they're doing on a truth-telling commission? After the election, if they win, this will be front and centre. And don't let Labor think they can have it both ways, because they can't. When it comes to voice, treaty and truth, no one should trust the Prime Minister.